Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, this is Saturday, December 10th. I'm out at Julius Kleiner Park and I have the Autel Evo Lite Plus drone with me today. I actually got a flight in out at the Snake River Canyon with this drone yesterday, so this will be my second flight with the drone. And I gotta be honest with you, we're out at Kleiner Park. You guys have seen me fly here quite a bit. It's not even a particularly nice day. It's overcast and it's cloudy, but it's not snowing and it's not raining. And I've got a fully charged battery, so I want to fly this drone. I want to show you just one of the things that I've noticed. There's not many things that I can complain about this drone, but I can tell you this bag that comes with it is difficult to use. Nothing really fits in there very well. It's a very tight fit. They could have given it a better design. So just wanted to point that out. The drone itself, like I'm trying to pull the drone, it should be able to just slide right out of the bag. Well, we got it out of there probably as easy as I ever have, but you know, typical, the props get caught on the side of the bag. It just doesn't fit very well. Anyway, enough of that. Other than that, I've really not got a lot to complain about this drone. It's a stellar piece. Like I said, I've only had one flight. But anyway, let's put it up in the air here at the park, and maybe we'll try out some of the flight modes and some different things just for the fun of it. Again, it's really a gray overcast day. It's probably in the mid-40s. I haven't looked at UAV forecast yet, but I'll put it up on the screen here. Yeah, we'll just see what this guy can do. We'll shoot in 30 frames per second. That way we can use HDR, and it might help on a day like today. So anyway, let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, let's take a quick look at the safety menu here before we take off. Return to home altitude 30 meters. That's plenty for where we're at here. There's no trees that high up. Yeah, it's not asking for any calibrations. We can take a quick look at the battery. That doesn't really tell us much, but where we're setting our warnings at. I moved my critically low down to 12% and the low battery warning to 20%. That's kind of cool that you can change that with Autel. You cannot do that on a DJI drone. So looks like we're good to go. Again, let's look at the camera menu real quick. I want to make sure we're in HDR. We are 4K 30 frames per second. So we're good to go there. Let's start recording. And yeah, we might as well do an automated takeoff. I'll get out of the way of the camera here so that you can see that. Slide it right now. I like the way it does that little kick of the props. You see the obstacle avoidance immediately. Yeah, you know, 4 meters, that's about how far we are from the tail of the aircraft. That's all perfect. Yeah, and you know, it says we're 1.3 meters high on the attitude indicator, and 1.4 is what it's saying on the bottom sensor, so can't complain about that. Let's turn it around here, see if we can bring it into the camera. You know, the other thing that I am kind of realizing about this drone is it's pretty quiet too. Yeah, and I'm pushing forward on the stick. I can't move it forward because of the obstacle avoidance, and I am trying to remember how you turn OA off without going into the app. Oh, right there. So I should be able to turn that off. Yeah, so I'm turning OA off so we can bring it in. We still got that bottom sensor, but that's cool. But anyway, we'll bring it in here and we'll get you up to the camera so you can see it. It's blowing leaves around here. But this is such a steady drone, you know. I mean, we're doing this no problem. Let's go ahead and turn OA back on, and let's do our droney here. Let me drop that camera down a little bit, and reverse and up now. Reverse. We are full reverse right now, and going slowly up. And I probably should have had the camera a little further down, but that's all right. We're in normal mode here. And how fast are we going? About 10 meters per second. So that's just about what normal mode is on an Autel drone. I almost said DJI. It's you know, old habits are hard to break. Let's pick that camera up here. And again, you're kind of getting a look at the sky here. It's kind of a gloomy day. God, we got a perfect horizon here. This is so gratifying to see this. We're about 50 meters high. Let's just do a quick fly around here around the park, and kind of give you a look at how things look with this drone. Again, we're a little bit higher. I'll bring the drone down here in a little bit, but just kind of giving you an overall look. I always like going over the top of the ponds here. Lots of waterfowl in those ponds. I think I saw about 3 or 4 different species of ducks in the little pond there a few minutes ago. So yeah, lots of waterfowl here. I guess it's just a good place for them to stop. I don't know if they're on their way south or what. See all those cars parked in that parking lot right there? I suspect a lot of those are either employees of that mall across the street or patrons of that mall. Let's kind of move sideways here, and we'll get over the field here. There's a big old Walmart right there across the street, right next to the CarMax. And you know, this drone is I've got enough control with this guy that I am kind of feeling comfortable that I think we can kind of make a little square here around this green belt. We're not going over the street. We're just going to be over the top of this green belt here. And we're about 43 meters high, so we're not bothering anybody. Yeah, and over the top of the green belt, and kind of give you a look. Let me kind of turn sideways here and see if I can give you a look at the CarMax. And I'm kind of struggling to stay over the green belt here. See if we can get let's get fully sideways here, and we'll be able to do that. Yeah, anyway, it's a car lot, right? You've probably seen that before. Okay, let's head back for the park, and we can kind of get over this green belt right here, full stick forward. And there we go. And you guys will recognize one of the sculptures in the park up here. And I'm going to turn around here and point out that CarMax sign down there. We've actually flown through that before. We did it. I think I did it with the Mini 3 Pro, and I also did it with the Skydio 2 drone. So yeah, we can get down lower. Let's get a better look at that. Get down lower. This, by the way, I'm going to tell you the control system on this drone is the signal and the FPV feed that you get back is every bit as good, if not better, than OcuSync 3. It's one of the best, and I've noticed that with the Nano Plus as well. It's an extraordinary control system. And I remember I had friends that had the original Evo, not the Evo 2, but the original Evo, and I remember them talking about struggling with range and so forth on that drone. Well, whatever that was, Autel definitely figured it out, because this system that they have now is phenomenal. And this is me trying to do a manual orbit, and again, I'm in standard mode, they call it, so I probably could do better if I'm losing it. Yeah, there, I kind of lost it there. If I had been in, I can't remember what their slower mode is. Now, let's go back into, tap it one more time, smooth mode, that's what they call it, smooth mode. So let me try that one more time in smooth mode and see if I can do a little better. It's still pretty quick. Yeah, Yeah, that's easier, but I still, I'm still saying I probably need to adjust the controls or get used to them a little more. Yeah, not bad. Okay, let's bring this guy back to us and let's take a look. Maybe we can try out. We still have 81% battery. We haven't. Yeah. Anyways, this thing's got great battery power. Let's go back into normal mode here. Get some speed up. Clicking at the top, standard mode. Holy cow! Everybody has their different nomenclature. So anyway, standard mode. Moving right along here, and we'll kind of go across the street here. See the other sculpture real quick. And let's kind of move sideways. And you can see all the waterfowl down here. Let me drop the camera down. There are a lot of waterfowl, or there were when I walked by here earlier. Let's get down lower and get you a look at all the ducks and geese here. So I saw some widgeon and some mallards. Widgeon, otherwise called pintail, some mallards. I saw some coots here earlier, and there were definitely some geese. Huh? So, yeah. Anyway, that's what we get this time of year. They like hanging out in these ponds. So, let's bring this guy back to us, and maybe, well, and in fact, we don't need to bring it back to us. Let's go. In fact, let's go out to the famous pickleball courts that I've shown you before, and we can set a point of interest, I believe, and try some of the flight modes out right there. Again, we've been flying. I've been recording at least for over 9 minutes, and we're only down to 76% battery. So that is something. So they just, you guys saw the construction of these pickleball courts, and they just completed those. Let me stop recording now, and let's go into, let's see, there's quick shots right there. And yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna, can I draw? Yeah, okay, so it's letting me draw a point of interest. So I'm going to click go, and it's counting down, calculating the distance, and here we go. And I didn't even see which quick shot I had going there. I think it's a oh God, I'm trying to remember what they call it. It's their version of a their version of a corkscrew. Yeah, and now it's coming back. Yeah, and it went right over the street there. So, yeah, what are we doing here? Okay, it's on its way back. All right. I'm losing my mind here. I can't remember what Autel calls that. Anyway, we're going to look here in a second. A flick. There it is, right in front of me. A flick. Holy cow. Yeah, kind of an interesting name. Okay, so let's go back into quick shots again, and let's do a fadeaway. That's a droney. Let's click on that little plus sign, see if it'll grab that as a point of interest, and it doesn't. So let's just draw one in the middle here, and let's click go. I should have been paying better attention there. But that flick is kind of interesting. It's kind of like a spiral, but not quite. Just a little bit different. And this is their version of a droney. Yeah, so it works quite well. We'll find a different target for the next one. And so it's going to return back to its, and I always like that it goes back to its starting area there. And let's pick up the camera here as soon as it gets back and fade away. Like I said, remembering the terminology is just a whole nother thing. And look at all those plus signs. It's trying to grab all those cars, etc. But let's turn around and let's go back out over the pond here, or maybe even we got right here. We have the band shell. So it's trying to put a plus in the band shell, but yeah, okay, so we got something there. Let's go into quick shots and let's do a rocket over the band shell, and I can adjust the height. Let's go up to a 60-meter height. So that's a pretty tall rocket, and let's click go. Oh, it lost the point of interest. It looks like we got it again. So maybe I have to go through that all again. Yeah, rocket, go. Yeah, it's counting down. It's got it now. So it should go over the top and then hold the camera on the point of interest. Calculation complete, started shooting, and yeah, it's holding it pretty well. Looking good. I'll tell you, it's interesting. So with the ground wet there and everything, you're seeing some different colors, and this is going to look really good in the HDR video that this guy shoots in. And again, we're only at 64% battery, so yeah, this thing, it definitely, yeah, there it finally completed. So we must have been about 30 meters high when we started. So yeah, you got tremendous battery power with this drone. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I think the last one on there, quick shots, was a circle flight, as I recall. So let's go out as soon as it returns here. Let's go out to the orbit is the last one. So we're going to go out over the pond here, and we'll do an orbit around the fountain here. So we'll see if we can select that and see if we can get an orbit going. This will be a pretty big orbit. So let me get right centered on that guy. And click on quick shots and click on orbit. And I'm going to do a point of interest. And we're going to click go. It's counting down. And this is going to be calculating the distance. So this is going to be a pretty good sized orbit here. And how fast is the drone? The drone's going around doing it pretty quickly. And I see it's coming a little bit off of the center there. But the thing is, when I drew that, who knows if I drew that point of interest exactly on the fountain or behind it, but generally it seems to be right there. And I think it just does one lap and then it completes it. And we got a lot of, you can look at all the, I kind of get a kick out of the seagulls, how they just kind of rest on the ice there. So all those seagulls just sitting on the ice. Seagulls, I guess they're good for pest control, grasshoppers and locusts and such, but they're kind of ornery animals if you ask me. And here we go. Yep, it's coming to a stop, and we're complete there. Pretty cool. Okay, I am going to bring it back to where I am at here, and maybe we'll try a little tracking. I haven't tried tracking with this guy, so what the heck? Let's give it a shot. You can see where I'm at there with my card, and look, it immediately recognizes my Tahoe and is putting a plus on it. But let me bring it around here and bring it down and see if it'll recognize me. And down we come. There I am. Yep, and it's got me there. Okay, so now the thing is, let's see, we were going to go into track here. Please shoot in an environment with a wide view. So I'm wondering how, you know, it's got front OA, but will it, you know, I'm just going to be on the safe side and go a little higher. Make sure that I'm kind of above these trees, and we'll try it here. Clicking on the plus, clicking follow. Okay, so it should have me. Oh man, it dropped. It came right down here. Yeah. So it's going to follow me fairly close. So that's interesting that I couldn't set the distance away. It decided to, and it's yeah. I mean, it's got me perfectly. It's following, I'm saying, much better than the Nano Plus did. Let's see if we can push it backwards, and we can. In fact, it's heading towards the tree. Will it see it? I don't know. I'm not insufficient space, it says. So, yeah. I'm not sure if Autel puts APAS in their drones or not. And can I artificially raise the height of the drone? Let's see if I can. And raise the distance, and will it still track me? Because as soon as I hit tracking, it came right down on me. So let's see if it'll still follow me. And it is. Yeah, it's following me okay, and it's kind of above the trees, so it looked to me like the OA simply stopped the drone when I was backing it into that tree. It looked to me like it just simply was going to come to a stop. Let's see what it does here. Yeah, it's following me around this tree. Lost me there. Yeah, now it's got me back. Okay. Yeah, and it went around that tree, so it does have a certain amount of obstacle avoidance. Well, this is something that we'll have to experiment around with some more, but so far so good. What I didn't do there was start recording, did I? Well, you guys saw it you'll see it on the screen recording. But anyway, let's see. So we're at 47% battery. I'm gonna switch back into shooting here. And you know, the other thing we could do, yeah, we'll save a hyperlapse for another day. Let's start recording again and pick that camera up, and let's just fly this guy around some. Nice day for a flight, and actually it turned out better than I thought. It's fairly warm out here. Like, you know, the other day when I was out here, man, my fingers were getting cold. I am not having any of those kind of issues today. And we're right over the top of these trees. I don't want to test out the obstacle avoidance on little branches, you know, that could be missed. Even drones like the Skydio 2 tell you that branches under 1 inch, yeah, no guarantees. You know me, I can't resist orbiting a fountain, so we'll do that. And again, we're in normal mode, and see if I can get a little bit better on the sticks this time. Yeah, not too bad, but far from perfect. Okay, let's pick that guy up. I got something else I want to try here. Let's lots of birds flying around there, so that's a little nerve-wracking. Let's see, so it should get up to 10. We are in normal mode here. It should get up to 10 meters per second, and it does in normal mode. So we'll try a couple of things here. I'm going to go over the statue out here, and we're going to try, let me see if I can do one of those straight down shots. So up and spin with a reveal. And what you guys are witnessing is me trying to get used to the flight controls on an Autel drone, guys. So That's the purpose of that. So we look straight down. See if we can get this. Let's put it into not ludicrous mode. Let's put it into smooth mode. I forget what I was. Like I said, again, the nomenclature is something to get used to. So let's move the drone over. And so this move is all, again, it's all on the left stick. So you're pushing up and spinning at the same time. So you're pushing up on the stick, and in this case to the left, and we're getting a little spin, and we're going straight up. And it always looks so good against that labyrinth. And this is working really well. So let's start seeing if I can pick up the camera at the same time and hold that spin as I do it. Not too bad. You get the reveal there. And there's the park, folks. Yeah, not bad. How high are we? 72 meters high. Okay, I am going to throw it into, let's try some ludicrous mode here, and let's see how fast we can get this guy up to. Let's head out over this direction, and we're gonna kind of leave the park here and head out over this neighborhood and see how fast we can get this guy up to. So there's 15 meters per second. That's, you know, roughly 32, 33 miles an hour. And I'm feeling a little bit of a breeze, but yeah, so I mean, again, that's, you know, again, that's in ludicrous mode, so it's not the fastest drone. We'll come back the other direction and see how well it does, but it's holding that right about 15 meters per second. And we're at 34% battery or so. We'll go out here about a kilometer. Go out here to the corner. We're not going to cross this next street here, which anybody that lives in Idaho will know that is Ustick Road. So yeah, it's holding pretty steady in ludicrous mode at about 15 meters per second. So we'll see what it is when we come back here. We'll turn it around and come back the other way. So just for reference, that big building that you see off to the left that I'm turning into right now, that is a Lowe's home improvement store. Les Schwab Tire down below. A lot of construction, man. I'm telling you, all this stuff wasn't here just not very many years ago. So none of those houses that you're looking at are there. And then look at that development going on right in the middle there. I don't know if that's apartment buildings or what. But anyway, we'll turn it back and we'll bring it back to the towards the park here. And let's go full stick forward and let's see if it'll speed up a little bit faster. And I'm quite sure that it will. There's 15. No, it's about the same. No, it's even slower. Now it's slowing down. Slowing way down. And we're in ludicrous mode. And I'm feeling no wind where I'm at here. Now it's kicking back up. Yeah, I don't know. There might have been some wind there. Yeah, so, yeah, and it's slowing way down again. Look at that. Yeah. Interesting that we're seeing the variance in speed there. Pretty wild. Yeah, I mean, look at this. We're under 7 meters per second, and I feel no wind. And we're up, what, 56 meters high, so, you know, that's about 100 and probably 170 feet high, something like that. And I'm dropping it down here as I bring it back. Let's bring this guy down. Let's go back into normal mode. Standard mode, sorry. And we'll get you a look at the waterfowl here. Lots of seagulls there. Like I said, the seagulls kind of the I don't know. Who knew seagulls could swim like that? And what kind of ducks are those? Are those coots? I can't tell from here, just looking at the FPV screen. Okay, let's move out here a little bit, and then we're going to throw this guy into return to home at 23% battery. Looks like we got a little battle going on there. Let's kick this guy into return to home. And return to home landing, it says on the screen. And it should rise to 30 meters and then turn around and come back to us. Let's see how close we get to a landing on the pad here. When I flew the drone out at the Snake River Canyon yesterday, it got very, very close to the landing pad. So let's see how well it does. Can't remember if this guy orients itself. I'm sure it probably does. And it's pretty close to that pad. So I'm going to stand in front here. And yeah, no, it's, yeah, aircraft battery is low. I know that. Let's see it when it picks up the camera and if it will hit that pad. It's not going to hit the pad. Oh yeah, it's moving. Yeah, maybe it will. Let's see. Nah, it's going to be a little off. And there it picked up the camera at the last minute. I was wondering if it would do that. So, and it stopped recording. So you can see on the Action 2 camera, we have got one leg on the pad and 4 off. So, all right, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion.
Visual positioning mode. No GPS positioning. Please fly with caution. Aircraft disconnected.
Hey, okay, the Autel Evo Lite Plus. Man, I am really tickled with this drone. You know, another perfect flight with it. You know, I'm still getting used to a lot of things on this drone. So, you know, I made a few mistakes out there flying, trying to do some even orbits and so forth. But, you know, that's just getting used to a little different flight controls and so forth. I can tell you the FPV feed looked really good. I have no reason to think that it won't, the video off the SD card won't look great. There were a couple of shots there that I thought looked pretty good. The one where we were overhead over the band shell, there were a lot of different colors there. I think that'll look fairly interesting. And yeah, little things to think about here. The gimbal cover. Why can't other manufacturers make a gimbal cover that is as easy to put on as this one? This thing just snaps right into place, very easy to do, holds the gimbal securely. That's how it's done. It's funny how all the manufacturers have their pluses and minuses, but that's a big plus in my opinion. But anyway, so we tried some of the flight modes. I forgot what to call a flick when we were over the pickleball courts over there, but we figured it out. And yeah, so anyway, there you go. They all have their different names for, you know, a rocket and a droney and etc. The nomenclature is one of the hardest things. They're all just a little bit different. Even the speed modes. What is it? Smooth? No, they don't call it normal. Smooth, standard, and ludicrous in Autel speak. Now that's the one thing that I was a little bit surprised about is when we put it in ludicrous mode, that the top speed is supposed to be 18 meters per second, which is right around 40 miles an hour. We didn't get to that at all. 15 meters per second was the highest we got to. And I thought, well, maybe we're going into headwind. But then when we came back the other way, it was even slower. So yeah, don't know what's going on there. But I mean, you know, that's a small thing. It was a great flight. I realized we didn't do anything too crazy, but I had fun flying it, and you know, on a day that I didn't think I was going to get out to fly, I got to fly, so that's always good. So that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. The Autel Evo Lite Plus. There again, that nomenclature thing. Anyway. See you guys later. Bye.